do to help people in that respect?
Basically, I worked in a biscuit factory for 7 years, and for 6 of those 7 years I wanted to get into radio, and I managed it. And my philosophy, if you like, is if I can get from a biscuit factory driving a forklift and wearing a hairnet to a breakfast show and a radio station, and winning Best Newcomer to GCAP Media, which is now global, then pretty much anybody can do it. I didn't go to university, I didn't do any radio conferences, and everything I learned on my journey into radio is passed on through the PIPs, all the advice and help. We do coaching, demo critiques, we basically point out the basic pitfalls and the mistakes that people make when they first get into radio. Our aim is if somebody is working in a biscuit factory or in a mechanics or in a chip shop or in a department store and they say, I want to work in radio, we want to be the first port of call because we literally come in at a base level. We're not, a lot of radio looks after radio. We're looking after people who want to get into radio, and there's a subtle difference, and that's basically what we do.
And from your experience, what would you say is the sort of biggest bad habit that aspiring presenters get into?
I would dare say there's a few. Number one is possibly trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to idolise people on the radio, listen to people in the radio and go, oh, I want to be like them, and you incorporate their styles into your presentation. And I think the key element to getting into radio is to be yourself, because there's only one Harvey, there's only one Gavin from the PIPs, there's only one Danielle from the PIPs. We're all individuals. So if you can bring yourself onto the radio, you will automatically be different from everybody else. So that's something that we coach and something that we train into people about, just being yourself. I think also as well, there's an awful lot of effort that goes into professional radio. There's an awful lot of thought and planning that goes into it. That it's easy to listen to radio and think that the person's walked in and says the first thing that comes into their mind.
Yeah.
Where really it's not that. It's not that easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. It's literally standing out and doing more to stand out, because there's hundreds and possibly thousands of people who want a professional presenting show on a radio station. So we coach people and we go to radio stations and say, look, you have to do more to stand out, and basically work to the mentality that okay, it's not a good enough standard in radio, it has to be better.
Yeah, and obviously a conference like the Student Radio Conference is a fantastic opportunity for students. How do you say they can get the most out of the whole experience?
Shake hands and say hello to people. Yeah. This is an unbelievable networking opportunity. We've got a pip tip on our Twitter feed, which is the PipsCo UK, which today is literally go and shake hands. Radio is all about right place, right time. There's so many stories of people who've got into radio because of contacts made at the Student Radio Conference. Yeah, it's Christian Williams is a perfect example, now on Capitol in London. But he met Dick Stone, one of the speakers here, and he had a conference in Nottingham a few years ago, went for the tour of what was then Trent FM, now Capitol, met Dick Stone, sent in a demo, the connection was made, the demo was liked, that was it, he was in Capitol and now look where he is, and it was all because he made that connection at the Student Radio Conference. There's people here from London, from Absolute, Radio 1, Radio 2, from Wise Brother, from all over the place, here in the building, where you are as well. So if you don't take the opportunity to just say hello and shake hands, then you're missing out potentially.